Oh, and just for shits and giggles, you could turn it into a globe. That's fucking hilarious. Hey, so I'm writing a novel. I honestly don't really know why I'm writing a novel. My brother inspired me. He was a big writer, and now I kind of want to see if I can have at it. I've never been one much for English class or anything like that. I never flunked, but I didn't do very good either, if you know what I mean. But today I just kind of want to talk about world building. I'm going to completely ignore it. This is my actual book right here. We're going to completely ignore that today. And then this is like a lore document that explains different things. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but I actually want to show you this tool right here. When it comes to writing a book or creating a novel or something like that, the very first thing I would start with is world building. So I only want to cover world building today. What I have here in front of us is a tool that I found online that was actually just a browser extension. So it's not something you have to pay for. It's completely free and it's very advanced. It's very nice. It's mostly used for doing maps for like D&D and things like that. But I've commandeered it to create the world for the book that I'm working on. So we have this world here, which I've done a lot of work on, and I'm going to show you different things that this little map here is capable of. So let's just get rid of everything real quick. So this is just the raw base plate of my little planet here, and it goes very in depth. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play with this in front of you. I don't have any plan for how I'm going to go through all this different content and all the intricacies of this map generator, and it's called Asgar's. I think that's how it's said, and it's very nice tool, but it's not intuitive. So it actually takes quite a bit of playing with. This is probably like the 20th map that I've made, and this is the final map that I settled on as far as creating my world. So after clicking a couple of these buttons in this displayed layers section, I finally have started showing you some of what I've created on top of this map. So what you'll notice right away are these different colors. A lot of the countries are separated through these nice little borders, and you can draw them out with this tool, which I don't want to change anything because this is my actual map of what is my world, and everything that takes place in the story, at least so far, is written in the kingdom of Susala. Now, I did try, when I get bored and I can't figure out what to write for my book, which I'm writing by hand and then transferring to the internet, which is crazy, is I've worked on creating how I feel different countries around this world are going to run. So there's the kingdom of Susala and the kingdom of Erebozia, and then there's the three kingdoms: the Foundry, the Most Serene Republic of Remy, Eldoria, Drakova, Wicker Dominion. Oh no, I think I'm using the wrong version of this map. Stand by. Many apologies. While you do see some changes between here and that cut, I just want you to know 99% of what changed you can't see. And it was very important that I switched to this version of map. I'm working on this on 2 different machines, and although this thing's a browser extension, I'm using a downloaded version of it on my computer, and the way it saves maps directly to your machine means I have to email myself different versions of the map to a different machine when I'm using the other one. Now that I've explained that complication, I'm going to get back into the map. My favorite 2 countries outside of Susal is going to be the Most Serene Republic of Remy, which is literally based on Rome, and I absolutely love the idea of it, and then Americium, which is future Rome. I haven't really named many of the cities. I think I went through here and named it after certain Roman cities, if I'm not correct. Either way, the random generation feature really helps with planning out every single thing, and I'll get more into that in a second. So the kingdom of Susal is a normal kingdom. The 3 kingdoms I like, I'm going to base it off like a tribal system. You'll see how I get that together. The Foundry is going to be interesting. There's so much already in here that I haven't written down, but that I know is true, that I can recall it like that. That's another reason having your world planned out before you start writing really helps, and I would definitely suggest that. From this, what I have right here, I've broken down some of the countries more, but mainly specifically all of the hard work, all the main work that has to be lore accurate is going to be done in Susala. So now if we just open up our provinces, these are the 7 main provinces of Susala. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, conveniently color coded for your eyes to tell the difference. There is Sussel, which is like, think of it as like a federal district. Think of it as owned directly by the government. Then we have House Quincy to the east. We have House Lavelle to the north. We have House Ashenmore to the direct west. To the west of Ashenmore, north, we have House Fitzdagger. Orange, we have House Ross. And other blue, we have House Ormond. And every single one of these different houses, which is basically just provinces, has their own lore behind them, their own royal like family behind them and stuff like that. Very intricate, and it helps me so much now that I have these ideas behind what's going on inside the kingdom politically to help me figure out how every single person in this society is living. And I'm a huge geopolitics nerd, so this part of writing a novel is definitely my absolute favorite, the go-to when I can't think of anything and I'm in the middle of writer's block for the book. I'll definitely head to the map and I'll be changing many different small features, and that's what this map is perfect for. Every single like city you see here was randomly generated, since my entire story that I'm working on is going to take place within this country here, the Kingdom of Sussela. Everything outside of that is just me kind of having fun. Now I'm very interested in this country all the way to the east because it's going to be a matriarchy, which is something that I really want to work out because you've never seen many of them in reality, so I want it to work so bad. Then this Kingdom of Jakova here, it's actually based loosely on Russia. It's, wide open, expansive territory with very few cities, mostly towards like a European kind of looking, continent, except in this reality, Americium's also attached to Europe. It's a very world events are going to matter. Interior events are going to matter. We could break the 3 kingdoms broken into 3 different clans. There's Maki clan, the Tirabu clan, and the Hathambe clan. That's super cool. I have not worked on religions. If you want to see the biomes, this map allows you to do that. So the Kingdom of Sussela is mostly grassland, some temperate deciduous forest. There's some tropical rainforest. There's some taiga and some tundra, so it's a very cold place to live. So biomes are super cool to know. So I kind of have an idea of when I'm looking at locations within the story, what I should be expecting to tell the reader what that location is like. That's good to know. Taking a lot of the random generation element in your head off your shoulder, I cannot stress how much better that makes writing. The map also allows you to do militaries and emblems and population and history and all that other stuff. And many of these features I don't actually use myself or need to use myself. There's different precipitation, or you want to see where the ice is in your world. Oh, there you go. Those places are too cold to live. Routes, trade routes or roads and stuff. There you go. And they go through the oceans and stuff. That's cool. Zones, don't even know what that does. Temperatures, average temperatures, 99 degrees towards the middle. Kingdom of Sussela, like 20 degrees. Then we go up to 60 degrees. This is beautiful. This is so much. What direction the fucking wind goes. And then you also always have the option to change things around. Now, the planet that I'm working on is collectively called The Common, which, wow, such a good name. So creative. The Common. I like The Common, though. It's a very humble sounding name for a planet. And it's kind of like everyone on the planet sees each other as like equal. It's very nice sounding. I think it just fits in with how this like fantasy story is going to go. There are options to edit a ton of stuff and regenerate entirely. So say I don't like this map, I work on moving a bunch of stuff around, map elevation and stuff, and then once I change everything, sometimes you'll have to regenerate things around that. Like, oh, this city wouldn't actually be placed here anymore, or this river wouldn't flow like this anymore. There are tools here for you to regenerate the random elements. Oh, and just for shits and giggles, you could turn it into a globe. That's fucking hilarious. That's so cool. Or 2D but 3D, like you could see the actual elevations of everything. That is also a tool. That is beautiful. You can click on the cities and then you can send it to yourself in the browser, and now not only do you have this entire city generated and what roughly it would look like, of course you can always play with this, but you can play with this. Like you can rename certain sections of your cities and move it around and be like, well, now you know what your characters would say if they're talking about a specific city. Like this is just a masterful tool. What took me 2 years to like conceptualize just in my head, just put it here, don't even gotta worry about it. It is phenomenal tool, outrageously good tool. And then it on top of being able to see different things and what it would look like, you also have a good idea of what features your city would have. It's so good. And populations and other stuff. But I've never specifically gotten down into deep and dirty and actually messed with populations and militaries and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do is, like, for the book itself, I will have that all in my head and select how I want it to sound or seem as I go along. But this as a reference is a #1 must. Some kind of map, you once you have your map, everything else can just fall into place so easily. I really do enjoy world building. It's my favorite aspect of writing a novel from scratch, and I think in the next video I'm gonna show you probably the lore outside of my book before we talk specifics about characters and events and stuff like that, because we're gonna go from my favorite stuff to do to my least favorite stuff to do, and when we get to my least favorite stuff to do, it means I actually have to do it before I make the video. I'm 4 chapters into my book, and we'll talk more in depth about that at some other point. If you want to follow this project more closely, I would absolutely love feedback on it, like immediately. I'll post it somewhere, maybe Wattpad or something like that, and you just let me know what you think. If you're interested at all, even a little, just comment down below and I'll make a Discord, but I don't have one right now. Ciao.